What on earth could bring folks from the right and the left together today? Not much. But a new film by Dennis Prager is doing just that. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. Speaking at the Obama Foundation Summit on Tuesday, former President Obama told his mostly young audience to, quote, get over wokeness. If I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or use the wrong verb, he said, then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was. That's not activism. That's not bringing about change. If all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far. Well, the former president's comment reminded me of a moment during his presidency when he denounced universities who disinvited conservative speakers because they were afraid of exposing students to differing points of view. That moment is featured in a brand new documentary by two people that you wouldn't necessarily expect to ever share a stage: conservative commentator Dennis Prager and liberal comedian Adam Carolla. These two men have launched an important new movie called No Safe Spaces. Through this film, Prager and Carolla are tackling the dangers of wokeness and the suppression of speech that's now taken over our nation's college campuses. The folks interviewed in the film represent almost every political and cultural view imaginable, from conservative comedian Tim Allen to liberal TV host Bill Maher, from liberal legal genius Alan Dershowitz to conservative commentator Ben Shapiro, from liberal Darwinian atheist biologist Brett Weinstein, the guy who touched off protests at Evergreen State when he refused to participate in a woke campus event, to former Oklahoma Wesleyan University President Everett Piper. We'll throw in the likes of Van Jones and Cornel West on the left, and Robert George on the right, and then Jordan Peterson, who's somewhere in between, and you've got an amazing variety of viewpoints from people who disagree about almost everything. But they do agree on this: that free speech on our campuses and in the public square is essential for a free society. As the film makes abundantly clear, the American experiment is based on our freedom to articulate, discuss, and engage differing viewpoints, including and even especially those viewpoints we vehemently disagree with. What is true? What is not true? What promotes human flourishing? What destroys it? How do we arrive at the common good? And how do we undermine it? Wrestling with these questions freely and openly lies at the heart of representative democracy, not to mention education itself. Losing the ability to wrestle with these questions means we become weaker people, more easily oppressed and ruled over, and ultimately it will spell the end of education and of representative democracy. Political censorship, suppressing ideas, shutting down or shouting down conversation only leads to tyranny, as Prager himself relates in the film. Earlier in his life, Prager was sent by the government of Israel to smuggle Jews out of the Soviet Union. He experienced their totalitarianism firsthand, a totalitarianism, he says, no American can understand, but every American should dread. No Safe Spaces was released just a week ago in a small number of theaters and is scheduled to open across the country in more and more communities over the next few weeks. And so far, the attendance has been encouraging. The more this film is seen in theaters, the more it will be shown in theaters. Having seen a screener of the film before its release, I can tell you it's very well done. It's an excellent, important documentary that clarifies why we must do everything we can to support freedom of speech on campus and in every public sphere. Take the teenagers and young adults in your life to see this film and then talk through its important ideas. Come to Breakpoint.org, click on this commentary. We'll link you to the website for No Safe Spaces. There, you can get information on where to watch the film, and you can also learn how to petition movie theaters near you to show how some ideas still can cross the political aisle. For Breakpoint, I'm John Stonestreet.